On scholars. As I lay sleeping, a sheep munched at the ivy wreath on my head, munched and spoke. Zarathustra is no longer a scholar. Spoke it and walked away, reproving and proud. A child told it to me. I like to lie here where the children play, by the crumbling wall, beneath thistles and red poppies. I am still a scholar to the children and also to the thistles and the red poppies. They are innocent, even in their spite. But to the sheep I am no longer a scholar. Thus my fate wants it. Blessed be it. For this is the truth. I have moved out of the house of the scholars, and I slammed the door on my way out. Too long my soul sat hungry at their table. Unlike them, I am not trained to approach knowledge as if cracking nuts. I love freedom and the air over fresh earth, and I would rather sleep on ox hides than on their honors and reputations. I am too hot and burned up by my own thoughts. Often it steals my breath away. Then I have to go out into the open and away from all dusty chambers. But they sit cool in their cool shade. In all things they want to be mere spectators, and they take care not to sit where the sun burns on the steps. Just like those who stand in the street and gape at the people who pass by. Thus too they wait and gape at thoughts that others have thought. When grasped they puff out clouds of dust like sacks of flour, involuntarily. But who would guess that their dust comes from grain and from the yellow bliss of summer fields? When they pose as wise, I am chilled by their little proverbs and truths. Often there is an odor to their wisdom, as if it came from the swamp, and truly, I have already heard the frog croaking out of it. They are skilled, they have clever fingers. Why would me simplicity want to be near their multiplicity? Their fingers know how to do all manner of threading and knotting and weaving, and thus they knit the stockings of the spirit. They are good clockworks, only one has to see to it that they are properly wound. Then they indicate the hour faithfully and make only a modest noise. Like mills and stamps they work. One need only toss them one's grain. They know how to grind down kernels and make white dust out of them. They are good at spying on, and are not the best at trusting one another. Inventive in petty cleverness they lie in wait for those whose knowledge walks on lame feet, they lie in wait like spiders. I have always seen him prepare poison with caution. And always they don gloves of glass for their fingers. And they also know how to play with loaded dice, and I found them so ardent in their play that they sweated. We are strangers to one another. And their virtues are even more repugnant to me than their falseness and false dice. And when I dwelled among them, I dwelled over them. For this they bore a grudge against me. They will hear nothing of it that someone strolls over their heads, and so they placed wood and earth and filth between me and their heads. Thus they muffled the sound of my steps. And up till now the ones to hear me least have been the most scholarly. All that is substandard and weakness in humans they laid between themselves and me, subfloor, they call it in their houses. But despite this I stroll with my thoughts over their heads, and even if I wanted to stroll atop my own mistakes, I would still be over them and their heads. For human beings are not equal. Thus speaks justice. And what I want, they would not be permitted to want. Thus spoke Zarathustra.